The story of Mother Candida Maria de Jesus. Juan Josefa was born on May 31, 1845. She was baptized on the same day at San Miguel Church, and when she was still a child, she was also called Juanita or Juanitachu, and when she founded the congregation, her name was changed to Candida Maria de Jesus, following the inspiration given by the Blessed Virgin. Mother Candida was a poor and uneducated woman who was born to a simple Basque family. Despite her material poverty, she felt the deep love and constant guidance of God in her life. She grew up with a strong trust and confidence in God's love and providence. Juana Josefa was the eldest daughter of Juan Miguel Cipitria y Aramburo and Maria Jesus Barriola y Queriseta. She helped her parents in taking care of her seven sisters. Though Juana Josefa lived in a very deprived situation, she was contented and happy. Juana Josefa grew up in Anduin, Guipúzcoa. It was one of the smallest provinces in northern Spain. The house where they lived was called Berospe. It was an old tower house. It looked big, but they were just renting a room in it. There were other families who lived in other rooms. This is the aerial view of Anduin, Guipúzcoa. The Cipithria family rented this part of Berospe. This is also the room where Juana Josefa was born. The families residing in Berospe shared a common kitchen and lavatory. You can imagine how difficult was it to live in here. On the sides, her father kept his weaving instruments. Juanita learned to live simply, and she was contented of whatever her parents provided. She did not demand for more like a new dress or more delicious food. Instead, she accepted joyfully whatever God had given to her. Juanita was baptized here in San Miguel Parish Church on the same day when she was born. Juanita grew up to be a prayerful girl. She developed a great love for Jesus. At the early age, Juanita learned already how to sacrifice for others. Once her Lola gave her an omelette sandwich, but Juanita very happily gave her omelette to the beggar. She may have wanted it, but she knew it was more important to give to someone who truly needed it. She knew it would make the Blessed Mother happy. When Juanita was about 7 years old, her family moved from Anduin to Tolosa to look for greener pasture. In Tolosa, Juanita visited Jesus always in the church of Santa Maria. She talked to him, telling her stories and dreams. She relayed to Jesus her joyful and sad experiences. One statue of a saint caught her attention. She was deeply attracted by the saint. The saint looked tall for the young Juanita. His face was so solemn but gentle to look at. He was holding a book with these words written on it, Ad Maiorem Dei Gloriam, which means for the greater glory of God. Juanita did not understand what was written on the book, but fully convinced what was written there was good. She told the saint, My dear saint, I want to do what the book says. Never did Juanita know that later she would also be a saint. She lived her life seeking the greater glory of God. This is Saint Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Society of Jesus, or presently called the Jesuits. When she was 15, a young rich man asked for her hand in marriage. Her parents thought of it as an opportunity to lift the family from poverty, but her heart was already set for someone. So she replied, I am for God alone. At 17, with the help of Father Martin, she went to Burgos to get away from her suitor and to look for work. At first, she worked for the Montoya family, but she left because her work did not allow her to attend Mass every day. So she transferred to the family of Doña Hermetas and Judge Jose Sabater. Juana Josefa developed genuine compassion and concern for her neighbors, especially the poor. She said, where there is no room for the poor, neither is there room for me. When the Sabater family moved to Valladolid, Juana Josefa went to them. She continued to serve them despite the meager salary. In Valladolid, Juanita met Father Miguel Jose Herranz S.J., who became a very significant influence in her life. Father Herranz was a Jesuit priest who escaped from Leon and sought refuge among his relatives in Valladolid. Father Herranz became the spiritual director and personal tutor of Juana Josefa. He provided her the necessary academic preparation for the mission. He assisted her to found the Hijas de Jesus. This was the building where Father Herranz lived. He stayed in one of these rooms, and she would come here to learn from Father Herranz's instruction. A year after Juana Josefa met Father Herranz, a very significant event happened to her on April 2, 1869. It was a Good Friday. It happened here in El Rosario Church before the altar of the Holy Family. Juana Josefa received an inspiration from the Blessed Virgin, telling her to found a congregation which would be named Hijas de Jesus. She had to change her name also to Candida Maria de Jesus. Together with other 5 companions, Mother Candida found the congregation on December 8, 1871, during the feast of the Immaculate Conception. This momentous event of the foundation of the congregation happened in Salamanca. After the foundation, Father Herranz conferred to them an insignia with the initials IHS, which stood for Jesu Humanum Salvator, which means Jesus, Savior of mankind. The congregation was called Hijas de Jesus. The sisters affixed the initials FI after their names, which stood for Filiae Jesu, the Latin for Daughters of Jesus. Mother Candida experienced in her life God as Father, who loved her unconditionally, protected her from all harm, and provided for her needs, especially in times of difficulty. She really felt that she was a beloved daughter of Jesus. The community of the first sisters stayed in Casa de San Jose. This was the first house established by Hijas de Jesus in Salamanca. The first set of sisters consisted of Gertrudis Garcia, who became one of the pioneers in Brazil, Petra Piernavieja, who was the only teacher but left the congregation due to some difficulties, Juana Gomez, Emilia Torrecilla, and Cipriana Vejuela, who was the first one to go out. As a foundress, Mother Candida experienced many difficulties, especially in terms of financial matters. But these did not discourage her. She believed that, alone I can do nothing, but with God I can do everything. She had deep trust in God's providence. In Jesus, we have everything. This was the house of Concord, the second house of Hijas de Jesus Sisters, where the novitiate was integrated. Two rooms of the house were used for the first school of the congregation. Mother Candida had a zeal for mission. She said, I will go to the uttermost parts of the world in search for souls. The first mission established beyond Spain was in Brazil. The first school was established in Perinopolis. Mogi Mirim in San Paulo followed. That was the last school established by Mother Candida in her lifetime. Mother Candida died after the foundation in Brazil, but her missionary zeal continued. She said, the world is too small for my desires. Mother Candida died on August 9, 1912, in Salamanca, at the age of 67. She died because of cerebral stroke. Mother Candida was beatified on May 12, 1996, in Rome by Pope John Paul II. Mother Candida was beatified together with Blessed Antonia Bandres, F.I., and the canonization of Saint Candida happened in Rome on October 17, 2010. The Hijas de Jesus congregation arrived in the Philippines in 1932. The first mission area in the Philippines was established in Pototan, Iloilo, with the help of Bishop James McCloskey. The parish priest of Pototan was Monsignor Marcelino Guangco. He offered his convent to the sisters, which became the first FI house in the Philippines. The first sisters who arrived in the Philippines were Sister Asuncion Velasco, Sister Sofia Garcia, Sister Brigida Sagordoy, Sister Teresa Garcia, Sister Maria Porta, and Sister Maria Rey. The first school established in the Philippines was the Colegio de la Inmaculada Concepcion in Pototan, Iloilo. Manresa School was established 100 years after the foundation of the congregation. It was opened on July 19, 1971. The name Manresa School was named after the cave where Saint Ignatius wrote his spiritual exercises. Manresa means a school of prayer and apostolic service. Currently, the General Superior of Hijas de Jesus is Sister Graciela Frankovic, F.I., and the Provincial Superior of the Hijas de Jesus in the Philippines is Sister Emelinda C. Falsis, F.I., and the Local Superior of the Hijas de Jesus in Manresa his sister Maria Leoli Quitorio, FI.